Welcome back to Lord TV L3RD TV. Today, we're looking ahead. We are looking ahead. Definitely going to talk about Real Madrid, what happened against Real Oviedo. Touch on that briefly, but we are going to be primarily focusing on our pregame, pregame preview for the next match against who the fuck are we playing? Against Mallorca. God damn. Against Mallorca. I thought it was Sociedad. Sociedad's when we come back from international break, which is crazy because the season just started and the international break that fast. But nevertheless, looking at the game that just happened against Real Oviedo, 3-0 win. Boys put in a solid performance. Was happy to see the rotations early. Like second game of the season, we're already seeing rotations, which is nice because we're definitely going to need it with this new pressing system where Xabi Alonso is asking a lot of the players for the 90 minutes. So definitely gonna have to use our full squad, kind of on that 2016-2017 Zinedine Zidane era, which was the best team in the history of the sport. That 2016-17 Real Madrid team, top tier, best team ever in the sport. Debate with the wall. So happy to see we're on those vibes of using the full squad. Kind of have that A squad, B squad situation going. It's going to be very interesting to see throughout the season. But happy to pick up the 3 points and the clean sheet, 3-0. I know people were complaining about the Osasuna game. It's only 1-0. It's the same thing as last year. It's very much different than last season. The team defensively is much stronger. There's actually a pressing system. So I don't understand where this is the same as last season. Malarkey comes in, but whatever. Obviously, the big talking points for the game against Real Oviedo was Franco Masuano was starting, Vini getting benched for Rodrygo, Rodrygo and Eder Militao, low rotation. Obviously, Eder's coming back from those double ACLs, so good to get him a great run in the first game, give him a good rest in the second game, and then he'll probably be starting against Mallorca. But I'll get to that. The big talking point was, Vini coming back and looking like the old Vini. Of course, I'm very happy to see that as a Real Madrid fan and a Vini fan. So I am happy to see him get that confidence back, him playing well. But I also take it with a grain of salt. Not that I don't believe in him, but you also have to take into account he has been bad in comparison to his standards for more than half a year, 6 to 8 months, and he had one or two good games during that stint last season. So him coming on and having a good little stint in the final 30 minutes is amazing to see, and I'm happy, and I hope he can continue on. But you have to take into account, Brahim comes on and looks amazing in the final 30 minutes against every team because you're facing a different team, especially when we're a goal up. The game is more open, tired legs from the opposition. It's just a completely different scenario versus, the first 60 minutes of a game where the team's facing a low block. It's more congested, fresher legs, things of that nature. So I think all those things need to be taken into account. I think Rodrygo had a solid performance, especially taking into account that he hasn't really played since Xabi Alonso has taken over. This is only his second start since Xabi Alonso has taken over, and even when the games that he came in off the bench against Tirol, in the preseason, that last preseason game, he came on and he scored and whatnot, but he hasn't played very much since Xabi Alonso has taken over. So he's still shaking off some of that rust and getting into his own in-game rhythm, because it's very different from being fit and being game rhythm fit. Completely different things. If you've ever played sports, you know that. So for him to come on and still put a solid performance and still look good, was very happy for me as a big Rodrygo fan, my favorite player on the team. So I'm very, very happy to see him get those minutes. And there was, I guess, an announcement yesterday, online, of course, nothing from the club, that he has made a statement that he is going to stay and doesn't want to leave this summer. So happy with that. So hopefully now that he's made that clear, Xabi Alonso will more so put him in the plans, and we'll see more Rodrygo starting or off the bench, whatever the case may be. He should definitely be getting a minimum 30 minutes every game. So happy to see that he's now fully committed and wants to fight for his place, and I think that's going to be a very healthy battle on that left wing, because he's made it clear he wants to play left wing and compete for that spot. I think another underrated thing about Rodrygo is he can play in the number 10 position, so I think that should be tried out. If we run a 4-4-2 with Vini and Mbappe up top, you kind of drop Rodrygo into that cam position. He's very capable of playing there, and I would love to see him get some minutes in that position, because then you can still keep Valverde, Arda, and Tchouaméni in the midfield, and keep that core midfield, and then just have that extra kind of more attacking midfielder and just someone else in those midfield positions, especially because we know that Rodrygo does do pretty good defensive work. So I think that should get experimented with if Xabi Alonso wants to roll out the front three, especially during this time when Jude is going to be out for this next month and a half, 2 months, until Jude comes back. Also got to take into account what's going to happen with Camavinga when he comes back, if he can stay healthy, because he's definitely going to get some game time. But I think he's going to be getting minutes between Fede and Tchouaméni's position. He'll kind of be coming in to help relieve Fede, to give Fede some rest. So looking forward to him coming back as well. Happy to see Carvajal back on the field, El Capitan. Very, very happy to see him. Same thing, he still has got to get his in-game rhythm, in-game fitness, in-game momentum going. So, but happy to see him. Looked a little shaky on those 1v1s and tracking back and stuff like that. You can tell he's not as fast as he used to be, but his IQ is very, very high, defensive IQ. So he's still going to hold his own out there regardless. But you can definitely tell him and Trent are going to be rotating a lot. So excited to see him back in the lineup. But let's move on. Let's look at Mallorca, the game against Mallorca on Saturday, the 30th. I think we're going to see the first game's lineup. I think that exact lineup is going to get rolled out again. Maybe Brahim gets dropped in favor of Franco. It wouldn't surprise me. But I think we're going to get that first game lineup. Alvaro on the left, Dean, Militao, Trent, back four. Tchouaméni, Arda, Fede, and the front three of Vini, Mbappe, and Brahim. I could see being deployed for that game. We know that Mallorca is a pretty aggressive defensive team, and when I say aggressive, they are trying to kill people out there. They are trying to take legs. They are trying to break bones. Like they have historically been one of those teams, and especially when it comes to Vini, they are trying to get in his head, trying to wind him up, and things of that nature. So interested to see how that's going to play out. But we just got to keep the kind of the same momentum we got going. I think we need to figure out this low block situation. We struggled with it last season. It's going to keep happening. It's not going to go away. So, I think we need to really pick up the speed of the passing, and not be afraid to go for more dangerous and risky passes to try to break between the lines, break the back line. But I think the biggest thing is really picking up the pace. Like, we have to move the ball faster. 1 touch, 2 touch, boom. 1 touch, 2 touch, boom. We have to really move the ball faster. It looks like the players have been licensed to get those long shots off, which always kind of can either go in, goalie makes a save, ball kind of scrambles. So there's a lot of good that can come out of those long shots, especially because we have really good players who thrive from those distance shots, and Fede, Tchouaméni, Arda, even Mbappe are really good at long shots. So that's definitely going to be something moving forward that is going to be an integral part of breaking down these deep blocks that we're going to be facing. But I think the biggest thing is really picking up the pace and trying to move the ball, really move the defense and catch them out. Obviously, the pressing whenever they get the ball and trying to win the ball back early and catch the opposition off guard. But Mallorca is going to be an interesting game. We'll see. Hopefully, we can pick up another 3 points. Start the season off 3 for 3, going into international break, letting the players get rested. Seeing that I think all the Brazilians haven't been called up for us, so that's nice to see for them to get some rest. If I'm not mistaken, I know Rodrygo wasn't, and I don't think Militao was either. Vini, I'm not too sure, but I think I saw something where our whole Brazilian lineup is staying here and staying in Madrid. So that's gonna be great for them, especially early season, to not have to pick up those minutes for no reason. Stay in Spain and continue to train and get their shit together, if you will. So I'm happy with that news. Of course, as a Real Madrid fan, of course my favorite national team is Brazil. But if the games aren't World Cup qualifiers, if they're just friendlies, then there's no point in having them travel, especially because Ancelotti is a Madridista, so he's definitely looking out for the Real Madrid squad. But looking forward to this game. Once again, I'm happy that Vini is gaining some confidence, but I'm not all the way there and sold that Vini's back. No, you got to show me that you are back. You have to prove to me that you are back. Just because you came in against Real Oviedo with 30 minutes to go in the game's open, doesn't mean anything to me. You have to really show me that you are truly back, and I hope you are, and I'm excited to see if he is back to, he can get back to Ballon d'Or levels. This team's ceiling just goes through the roof, and we're going to be extremely hard to beat. So we'll see how it goes. But that's all from me. Quick little touch on last game. Quick little preview for Mallorca. Score prediction. I think we can get another clean sheet. We'll continue with that. I'm looking. I'll do another 3-0. I'll do another 3-0, 2 back-to-back 3-0s from the squad, and that's all for me. Adios, muchachos.